I'm Christopher from Stellar Shows, and I'm so proud to be able to tell you all that this is my favorite club to present shows in. Can you tell why? No other club has all that free parking. No other club has this much great food. And how about the service? Pretty fast? These guys do a first-class job. And I like to think that Stellar Shows does too. And that's why whenever we get a chance to book an artist on a regular basis, whether it's the Quaby Sisters or Jim Lauderdale or Dale Watson, every time they come through, they've got a home right here on our stage. And the same is true of Slaid Cleaves. So please put your hands together. Let's bring them up to the stage. Slaid Cleaves.
Good to see you all in the early Sunday show. I say good to see you all, but I can't really see you. So could we get a little bit of the house light dimmed up a little bit so I can see the faces? That'll be, yeah, you sound great. A little bit more of that house lighting, please. Still can't see anybody. Oh, there you are, front row. Let's see. A little bit. Hey, there you are. All right, there you are. Oh, good looking crowd. Nice. All right. Somewhere in the middle of those two, maybe. Ricky got the quarters for the table and broke while I pulled hard on the sorrow and smoke. Raising up my bottle, I looked for a chance as he set your glass down on the bar with a glance at me. Down at the Horseshoe Lounge, shuffleboard and neon light. Down at the Horseshoe Lounge, cigarettes and whiskey tonight. Ricky said she's out of your league, let her go. As I watched you pick your partner on that old dance floor. I know it didn't work out the first time we tried, but I'd do anything to have you by my side again. Down at the Horseshoe Lounge, peel the label off a Miller Lite. Down at the Horseshoe Lounge, I sit here thinking about you every night. Are you the one who faltered? Was I the one who strayed? Maybe God left us out of the plans he made. So here's to his beginnings and things that never start, for these are the ghosts that run around in my heart. When I see that where I'm going isn't where I wanna be, I get the urge to look you up, see if you would come and meet me. Down at the Horseshoe Lounge, hey buddy, have you got a light? Down at the Horseshoe Lounge, just one more and I'll be alright. Everybody now. Down at the Horseshoe Lounge, peel the label off a Miller Lite. Down at the Horseshoe Lounge, I sit here thinking about you every night. Ricky got the quarters for the table and broke while I pulled hard on the sorrow and smoke. Well, Sherry had a pawn shop bound of gold, a sink full of dishes and a love growing cold. Along came a boy, pretty as the devil, She took his hand, the whole thing unraveled. There's no turning round, it's broke down. Billy took the ring, jammed it in his pocket, drove downtown and tried to hawk it. Down at the bottom of Lake Pontchartrain, there's a love note carved inside a wedding ring. Broke down, cracked and shattered, left in pieces like it never even mattered. Broke down, torn and frayed, ain't nothing left you could give away. There's no turning round, it's broke down. Ain't no telling where love goes, maybe down where the Black River flows. Won't be coming back round, it's broke down. Baby in the backseat and another on the way. Sherry thinks of Billy at the end of every day. Spends her nights waiting for real life to start, listening to the sound of her double-crossed heart. Broke down, cracked and shattered, left in pieces like it never even mattered. There's no turning round, it's broke down. On the other side of town, two lovers lie still, cigarette smoking on a windowsill. There's a picture locked up in an old suitcase. Billy closes his eyes, but he still sees her face. Broke down, cracked and shattered, left in pieces like it never even mattered. Broke down, torn and frayed, ain't nothing left you could give away. There's no turning round, it's broke down. It's broke down. Thanks so much, everybody, for coming out on a Sunday evening. Sorry, that's me. I'm losing one of my cables. It was half unplugged. Sorry about that. It's in now. I thought it sounded funny. That's Jacob doing a fine job on the sound up there. Thanks, Jacob. Jacob, I could use just a little bit more of my vocal, please, on the wedge, now that the house is full of people. So a couple of old favorites to start with, but we're here to talk about our brand new album, everybody. There it is right there. Together Through the Dark. Gonna do a few songs off the brand new one here. And if I could get those house lights up just a little bit more, I'm still kind of in the dark here. Dark clouds gather on the western range. This time it feels like more than just another cold, hard rain. Rivers rising over old floodlines. Here come the prophets calling out the end of time. When the night comes creeping in and the day has left a mark, I'll take you by the hand, together through the dark. We nurse our bruises and we touch our scars. We look up into the night, seeing chaos in the stars. Through endless time, the same old dance. We stray out into the dark in search of one last chance. When the night comes creeping in and life has left a mark, I'll take you by the hand. Together through the dark, I'll tend the fire through the night and through the dark. Can't fight the storm outside, but we can wait it out. This world is hard from the day you're born. You can't pick up the rose without a handful of thorns, holding on to the slimmest toe. You can beg for mercy or you can pray for a little more. Oh, when the doubt comes creeping in and life has left its mark, I'll take you by the hand, together through the dark. When the night comes creeping in and life has left its mark, I'll take you by the hand, together through the dark. Together through the dark. Together through the dark. Hey, thanks. How many people have heard that song on Spotify or the radio? All right, excellent. Exciting. Very exciting to have new music out there. It was 5 years since I put out a new record. Oh, thanks so much. We're getting a nice response. People are digging this next one too. This is called Puncher's Chance. All right. Yeah. And it starts when I made the demo in my office of this song a year ago, before we started recording, a little over a year ago. I played a bad chord at the start, but it sort of grew on me, so I'm starting the song with a bad chord every time now. 2, 3. I lit a candle from the lost and lonely, and I stepped out into the night when I heard a voice call out my name from under the street lamp light. I knew him from my barroom days. Those were often rowdy times, just two old men talking about a life long left behind. He said, I know that I ain't ever going back to that old life, and I'll admit I sometimes think about those wild, wild nights. I could never pass up defending the honor of a working girl from some tanked up low-life poser trying to take her for a twirl. Or schooling some low-down rounder for dealing that bottom card. If you messed with me, boys, you'd go down hard. All the headaches and the handcuffs I'm glad to leave behind. And these days I remember where I was last night. But sometimes I still think that I could win one last bar fight. And I saw the old man smiling, I saw the laughter around his eyes, all them stories of my glory days. He said, those are mostly lies. And when it came to throwing hands, how that whiskey made me dance. But I never had any more than a puncher's chance. He said, I know that I ain't ever going back to that old life, but I'll admit I sometimes think about those wild, wild nights. I could never pass up defending the honor of a working girl from some tanked up low-life poser trying to take her for a twirl. Or schooling some low-down rounder for dealing that bottom card. If you messed with me, boys, you'd go down hard. All the headaches and the handcuffs best. I've had my last bar fight. Oh, thank you so much. Got one here I wrote with my old buddy Rod Picott. Got any Picott fans out there? All right. That's good to hear. We've written almost 30 songs together over the years, but, well, we've known each other since we were 8 years old, so I guess that's all right. Scrappy. This is Scrappy Judd Newcomb on guitar, folks. Are you still friends with anyone you've known since you were 8 years old? That's a precious thing, I think.
I don't think I am.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I can't think of anybody that I've known that well.
It's pretty rare. This is called Next Heartbreak. All right. I saw it coming, but it came down hard as a stone. Laid my brother down in his grave. We had one last whiskey over his bones. He was a fighter, but he knew he was facing the end. Hope I'm as brave when it comes my time and we're gathered around my bedside again. I don't wonder about it anymore. Now I know how much a heart can take. I count my blessings and I carry on until the next heartbreak. I hold my wife a little closer now in the dark. I say a prayer for the ones I know who make it through the night with just one heart. Got through the hard times, boxed them up in the past. Back to the living, back to sunny days, but we're old enough to know it won't last. I don't wonder about it anymore. Now I know how much a heart can take. I count my blessings and I carry on until the next heartbreak. Chop wood, carry water should be simple enough. Till you're down on your knees looking up at the sky with a fear that you're not that tough. All is quiet now, but the mind races on. Reach for the bottle on the old nightstand. Good times keep it rolling along. I don't wonder about it anymore. Now I know how much a heart can take. I count my blessings and I carry on. I don't worry about it anymore. Now I know how much a heart can take. I count my blessings and I carry on till the next heartbreak. That's coming up a little bit. That's great. Got one more off the new record, and we'll do some old favorites for a little while. You know, I went to see Springsteen, and I wanted to hear the old favorites. He's got some good new ones too. This one I wrote. Sometimes I make like Woody Guthrie and see an interesting newspaper article and decide to turn it into a song. That's what I did here. Some articles I read in the Bangor Daily News when I was up in Maine a few summers ago. And pretty much 100% true story. I didn't change the names. I used some of the quotes from the newspaper article and just made it rhyme and put a melody to it. That's all. So, yeah. documentary songwriting. It's a story of a prisoner named Arnold Nash. Yeah, Arnold Nash. That's right. He was a good prisoner, a bad citizen, a terrible family man, living a life of crime just to the math. Half a life in prison, the other half on the run. I'll tell you all the story of Arnold Nash. I got a call from the warden when they found the empty cell. I said, I'm retired, but I tell you what I know. Most men do their time wishing they were back at home. But Arnold, well, he's got no place to go. We were buddies back in grade school. He'd come to the house and play. No one knows what set him on his path. Some would say a broken home can turn a good kid bad. Some insist he was never more than trash. In '81 my dad was sheriff, and I aimed to fill his shoes as Arnold was starting up his own career. He'd work twice as hard at stealing than he would at an honest job. He'd take anything from dope to fishing gear. He was a good prisoner, a bad citizen, a terrible family man, living a life of crime just to the math. Half a life in prison, the other half on the run. This here is the story of Arnold Nash. Well, I chased him through the woods of Maine a good many times. Once through a driving snow in his stocking feet. He'd be locked up for a while, a year or two at most. Then he'd be right back out on the street. He was a burglar and a thief with 2 escapes to boot. In '91 he crossed over the line. He beat to death his neighbor for a VA check to cash, and so Arnold went upstate for the big time. With a 45-year sentence, he thought he was in for good. He spent a quarter century inside. And for his good behavior, they laid off 18 years. They said, Arnold, you'll soon pack your bags and ride. So I reassured the warden, no need to worry, son. This old prisoner, he won't be going far. Sure enough, when he got hungry, he'd come out of the shady woods, walked right up to the blue state trooper's car. These days I'm in retirement, and I guess old Nash is too. And I know what he saw on the Bangor Road. He saw comfort in that cruiser, saw 3 squares in a bed, relieved to come to the end of this episode. He was a good prisoner, a bad citizen, a terrible family man, living a life of crime just to the math. Half a life in prison, the other half on the run. Now you all know the story of Arnold Nash. Now I've told the true story of Arnold Nash. Thank you so much. That's a lot of information packed into that song. Does anybody have any questions? It's a lot to soak in. But, you know, when I write songs, when I make albums, I know that I won't put out another one for 4 or 5 years, so I want to put a lot of detail and intricacy into the song, so it takes you a while to figure them out, because I don't want you to listen to the record for a day or two and then put it away, because then what are we going to do for the next 4 or 5 years, right? So, here's an old favorite there that I wrote with Karen Poston. My drinking days are over, no more nights at the carousel. My buddies say they're gonna miss me, but who could ever tell? I never knew what time it was till closing time came round. My drinking days are over, but I'm still trouble bound. I used to hang at the Horseshoe. You'd see me spinning out the Broken Spoke. I'd take some gal down a green hall. We lived on whiskey and smoke. Don't know how it all started. Didn't mean to hurt no one. Some bad luck, what's done can't be undone. Well, it was way past midnight. Amid a hollered out last call, I turned around and Wranglin' Ron was headed for a brawl. I didn't know that other guy was a cop. I guess I didn't care. Sometimes you gotta act like you got a pair. That's what Wranglin' Ron told me one time. My drinking days are over, no more nights at the carousel. No more fights, no more neon lights. I guess it's just as well. I never knew what time it was till closing time came round. My drinking days are over, but I'm still trouble bound. That's the baritone guitar Scrappy's playing there. Scrappy Jive. Well, I gotta ride out to Huntsville. I'll be there for a while, staring out a mesh window, mile after mile. I don't have any regrets, well, maybe just a few. But a man's gonna do what he's gonna do. My drinking days are over, no more nights at the carousel. My buddies say they're gonna miss me, they can go to hell. I never knew what time it was till closing time came round. Drinking days are over, but I'm still trouble bound. I never knew what time it was till closing time came round. My drinking days are over, but I'm still trouble bound. My drinking days are over. So we kicked off the West Coast tour last night at McCabe's up in Santa Monica. Nice show. Yep, classic. I didn't play the Texas Love Song, and a lot of people were disappointed at the end of the show. So we'll do the Texas Love Song tonight. It's a goofy little song I wrote just as a songwriting exercise one time, just to see how many times I could rhyme Texas in the same song. I didn't think it would turn into a song, but it did eventually. For you, I'd give up all my time, searching for the perfect rhyme. And this is one that certainly perplexes. For you, I would spend all my days thinking up all the crazy ways I love you even more than I love Texas. You got Bel Air class, Dallas style, Austin soul, and a looking back smile. For you, I'd trade my truck in for a Lexus. You smell as sweet as the piney woods. I'd marry you if I thought I could. I love you even more than I love Texas. You're the barb on my wire, the spark in my campfire. There's no brighter star in all the multiplexes. I love this state, you know I do, but the best thing in this state is you. I love you even more than I love Texas. Sharp as a prickly pear, the sun shines in your golden hair. Your smile hits me right in the solar plexus. Skin is soft as early morning rain, temper like a Gulf Coast hurricane. I love you even more than I love Texas. From the mucky duck to the broken spoke, you know this state like an old cowpoke. You know a roll of tastiest Tex-Mexes. You got Matson on the radio, playing Robert Earl and Billy Joe. I love you even more than I love Texas. You're the barb on my wire, the spark in my campfire. Let's head out west where nobody can text us. I promise you I'll never cheat, or you can throw me out in the old mesquite. I love you even more than I love Texas. And if you make me leave this state, well, I'll groan, but I won't hesitate. 'Cause I love you even more than I love Texas. Oh-da-da-hoo-dee, oh-da-da-hoo-dee-dee. I guess they don't have house lights to bring up, so I'm going to come down and check out you all people down there. I'm just going to do a quick little walk around and check you guys out. it's good to get to see you all up close there. We stopped doing the walk around, of course, with the COVID came around, but we just started doing it in the last few weeks, and it's a really good experience. Yeah. This song's written by my friend Karen Poston, whose grandmother was married to a coal miner in Virginia. Yeah, it's a sad one. There's no happy coal mining songs. Lady lit a cigarette today, ancient fumbling fingers in her way. From a 40-year-old coffee cup she sipped a bit of gin, closed her eyes and let the memories in. She lives in the old place all alone, keeps in touch with neighbors by the phone, grows roses on the graves of her firstborn and his father, and the coal trucks never bothered her. Oh, Liddy, let him go, the boy is gone. Her mother struggled as she tore him from her arms. Oh, Lydia, your tears are heaven's rain, but she never was the same. Cotton dress and satin shoes, and a young summer sun dressed in amber hues, spending time with a coal miner's son to an old-time fiddle tune. Months blew by just like a breeze that year. They wed in June, and by the fall the boy was here. Word come down from Big Stone, there's a fire in the mine, and 11 men they couldn't find. Oh, Liddy, let him go, the boy is gone. Her mother struggled as she tore him from her arms. Oh, Lydia, your tears are heaven's rain, but she never was the same. Watch them pulling from the hole. The overalls he wore were blackened by the smoke. Liddy twice had had this dream, and twice it had come true. And when she saw his father's boots, she knew. Oh, Liddy, let him go, the boy is gone. Her mother struggled as she tore him from her arms. Oh, Lydia, your tears are heaven's rain, but she never was the same. Liddy lit a cigarette today, ancient fumbling fingers in her way. From a 40-year-old coffee cup she sipped a bit of gin, closed her eyes and let the memories end. Here's another song inspired by Woody Guthrie. Woody Guthrie said that a folk singer's job is to comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable. Song called Still Fighting the War that I had a little help writing this with my buddy Ron Coy. We'll be talking about him later on in the show. Hard times coming home now. Can't get your feet on the ground. Got some issues and no one wants you around. Barely sleeping and you can't get through to the VA on the phone. No one's hiring and no one wants to give you a loan. And everyone else is carrying on just like they've always done before. You've been home for a couple of years now, buddy, but you're still fighting the war. Flashback to Fallujah, lost another best friend. 3 tours of duty and you're wondering when it's all gonna end. Bodies broken and bones shattered, blood and dust in your mouth. Getting weary, but you're running with the few and the proud. Sometimes you wonder why you went. You don't wonder what you stay on for. You've been home for a couple of years now, buddy, but you're still fighting the war. Men go off to war for 100 reasons, but they all come home with the same demons. Some you can keep at bay for a while, some will pin you to the floor. You've been home for a couple of years now, buddy, but you're still fighting the war. The bedspread is frayed, faded and tearing apart. 2 strangers holding each other in the dark. Tell me, what were you dreaming? How did you think it would end? How many heroes are scattered out into the wind? And all the happily ever afters turn to broken dishes and slamming doors. You've been home for a couple of years now, buddy, but you're still fighting the war. A couple of oldies there, and we'll do let's do a couple new ones off the new record here. We're excited about it. We got CDs. Vinyl is coming in a couple of months. They're a little backed up on the vinyl, but we got CDs with the tour T-shirt with all the dates on the back, you know, and the album on the front, just like my rock and roll heroes of yore. I was telling Scrappy I was cleaning out some old boxes, and I found my tour T-shirt from when I saw the Who in 1979. I was 15. Yeah. It's not in very good shape, but it's I still have it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Way back in Blanco County, I knew a troubled soul. This cowboy couldn't get out of his own way. A chip upon his shoulder, quick to lose control, digging himself deeper every day. Losing friends and family, stumbling along, kicked out of every drinking hole in town. Every day just singing that same old jukebox song, until he learned to put the shovel down. Some guys keep right on digging, you could say they're trouble bound. If you wanna get out of the hole you're in, the first thing you gotta do is put the shovel down. Well, I don't mean to be a preacher, and I know that I'm no saint. You can ask all the people I have hurt. What I've got to say, boys, you can take or leave. Quit your digging and climb up out of the dirt. Some guys keep right on digging, you could say they're trouble bound. If you want to get out of the hole you're in, the first thing you gotta do is put the shovel down. I woke up this morning, I watched the climbing sun. I counted up my blessings one by one, and I will be here standing when that sun goes down, because I learned to put the shovel down. Some guys keep right on digging, you could say they're trouble bound. Some guys just won't stop digging till they're 6 feet underground. Some guys keep right on digging, there's no mystery I've found. If you wanna get out of the hole you're in, the first thing you gotta do is put the shovel down. In a dusty old church basement, my daddy lit a second cigarette. Spoke of all the years he wasted, letting go of all those old regrets. As I watch my own smoke settle, it's not too hard to understand. That's so much of who I am today, but I just picked up secondhand. Was a time that I was searching for something I could call my own. Guess I didn't really have the goods, now I'm rolling over one more payday loan. Took a load down to the local pond, went back to work for my old man. Driving home tonight to the wife and kids in a Plymouth that I bought secondhand. Cactus growing round that old blue veil. We used to roll out across this land, feeling brave and free. We were singing Born to Run. I go and visit her from time to time, sun setting on that old red pine. Just held together with spare parts and duct tape till you're done. I know I'm not the one she fell for. She smiles, but I can see it in her eyes. And when she stares into the distance, I know there's only so much she can hide. I'm headed to the tent revival, where lost souls reach for heaven's plan. I gotta find some kind of light tonight, even if it's only secondhand. cactus growing round that old blue van. We used to roll out across this land so many times I can't remember where we started from. I go and visit her from time to time, sun setting on that old red pine, just held together with spare parts and duct tape till you're done. In a dusty old church basement, my daddy lit another cigarette, blew the smoke up to the ceiling, letting go of all those old regrets. And as I watch my own smoke settle, it's not too hard to understand that's so much of who I am today I just picked up secondhand. Well, I just picked up secondhand. Yes, thanks so much. Wrote that with my buddy Adam Carroll. Got any Adam Carroll fans out there? Yeah. He's one of the best. What's that? He's playing the Devil's Backbone tonight? Oh, you're plugged into the information, aren't you, man? That's great. Take up one of those private jets from across the street and go to the Devil's Backbone. Yeah. It's a great place outside of Wimberley, Texas, where I live now. Yeah. Well, speaking of Wimberley, I wrote this next song with a buddy of mine from Wimberley, Wranglin' Ron Coy, who we talked about earlier. When I met Wranglin' Ron, he ran a club called the Ski Shores. It was a marina and club and restaurant. And before that, he sold jewelry in Mexico. And before that, he worked in the oil fields. And before that, he was a bouncer at a Toppets club in Corpus Christi. And after he worked at Ski Shores, he ran a ranch. That's how he got the name Wranglin' Ron. And then, let's see, after the ranch shut down, he went back to work for the oil company, and they sent him to Singapore to help work on a ship, an oil exploration vessel. And then he helped sail the ship around the coast of Africa and drilled off the coast of Africa for a while. And the oil bust hit and the financial crash, and he went to grow marijuana up in Portland, Oregon. No, not Portland, somewhere in Oregon. Coos Bay, Oregon, that's right. He started a little marijuana farm. What did he do after that? Oh, after that, I saw him in Wimberley just before the COVID hit, and he was on his way to Terlingua, Texas, to help a buddy of his build a combination dance hall laundromat. Just what Terlingua needs. Within a few weeks, I started getting texts from Ron down in Terlingua talking about all the characters he was getting to know down there. One of them was the Terlingua Chili Queen. 1, 2, 3. Sandy worked in Dallas in an office in the sky, chatting up the oil men, her hair piled up high. Bought designer clothes at the Galleria Mall, dancing in deep Pilgrim, she was fairest of them all. The husbands in the houses, they come and then they go, and when the dust would settle, she'd be right back on her own. If you wanna get ahead, you got to do the shuck and jive. So every day it's out of bed and on a 35, putting on mascara in the rear view mirror. In the backseat of her mind, there's a little flash of fear. Is this the life she wanted when she was a little girl, or is there something more out in the great big world? She started feeling crazy, she started thinking wild. She wondered what would happen if she drove 600 miles. She planned her getaway, she had the motive and the means. That's how a beaten down Dallas gal became the Chili Queen. After 22 many years chasing wedding rings, she traded in her Lexus, sold off all her things. Goodbye to fancy dinners, goodbye to therapy. She headed west on 20 with a chili recipe, on the dash a pack of Salem's and a half a pint of gin, not caring if she'd ever see the Metroplex again. No, she drove off through the night toward that little border town. It's time for starting over, no time for backing down. Sunrise interlingual on that truck stop cafe. That's how a beaten down Dallas gal became the chili queen. Frio with a kitchen out the back, bought some pots and pans and she started to relax, stirring in and tasting out in the open air, sunshine on her skin, desert breezes in her hair. She won the chili cook-off, went off to celebrate, dancing at La Kiva like she's about to levitate. She kissed a river rat, they started singing, drinking songs, said I'm here for a good time, I'm not here for long. Now they're headed for the desert and sure some mescaline. She planned her getaway, she had the motive and the means. Sunrise interlingual on that truck stop caffeine, dancing at the starlight like she was 17. That's how a beaten down Dallas gal became the chili queen. Thank you so much. How many of y'all ever been to Terlingua before? Have you been to Terlingua? Oh yeah, a few of you, yeah. How long does it take to drive to Terlingua from here? Yeah. It takes a long time to drive from Austin. I think it's not much more than halfway, right? How many hours is it?
From Austin?
From Austin, yeah.
Oh, about 8.
Is that all it is?
Yeah.
Oh, you drive a fast car. I don't drive a fast car like that.
Maybe 8.5.
I thought it was more than that. Well, we're going to go from Terlingua all the way up to Maine, where I got the idea for this song from my parents' neighbor, Willie Jr. He's a funny character, too, kind of like Wranglin' Ron, guy you can follow around with a notebook and get song ideas for. This one I got when he was having a beer with my dad after dinner time. I was just sitting in the corner listening, walked away with this song. I met Willie by the still, he was brewing a batch. He had a short cigar and one last match. He was telling me about his latest troubles with the government. He had child support and alimony. He was looking depressed and kind of lonely, just trying to figure out where all his hard-earned money went. But I'll be go to hell, he said. I got nothing but a Ford and a barn full of hay. If it weren't for horses and divorces, I'd be a lot better off today. That's when I got my notebook out. Well, I said, Willie, that sounds like a song. He said, son, you know you may not be all wrong. Could you give me a little piece of the pie if you make it a hit? I got a 51 Ford I'd like to fix up. I got 2 sick ponies and 1 sick pup. And my 3rd wife's coming today to take my TV set. But I'll be go to hell, he said. I got nothing but a Ford and a barn full of hay. If it weren't for horses and divorces, I'd have a lot better off today. torture. Well, God bless poor old Willie McCann. You know, he's always been a good, hard-working man. He bought me a beer last night down at the Lost and Found. He said, horses and women are fine, sure enough, but if you don't breed them right, people gonna be blah, blah, blah. If you don't treat them right, things are gonna get rough. Believe me, I got these 4-year marriages down. Well, I'll be go to hell, he said. I got nothing but a board and a barn full of hay. If it weren't for horses and divorces, I'd have a lot more money, less gray hair. I might even be a millionaire. If it weren't for horses and divorces, I'd be a lot better off today. Oh-de-loo, oh-de-lay, oh-de-lay. Scrappy Judd Newcomb on the guitar there, folks. I'm just a little lightheaded after that yodeling. It must be the elevation here at Newport Beach. No, it's just my elevated age. But Scrappy's going to do a song for you now, and I think it's on one of his CDs. Is that right?
It is. It is.
You have available for sale
I
today?
have them for sale, Slaid, but you know we have a policy.
There is a policy in the band. I highly recommend Scrappy's CD. It's the third-party CD, right?
That's the third party.
Latest CD. And it's a really great CD. Scrappy's a great guitar player. He produced the last 3 of my records, so he knows what he's doing in the recording studio. Put out a few of his own records. They're really good, and I highly recommend them if you've already bought all of my records and a T-shirt and a bumper sticker and a koozie and a cap and a songbook. Do you know about this is our pandemic songbook, and we lost all our gigs in 2020. I sat down at the computer and typed out all the lyrics and put the chord changes and right in the official place, and we got some chord diagrams there, and we bought a printer and a book binder, and it's on a ring binder so it lays flat. You don't have to hold it down with your thumb while you're trying to play guitar. And every single song's on exactly 2 pages, so you don't have to flip between pages on the songs. That's the songbook. I've been signing those after the show in the parking lot. That big build-up. Now you have to play a song, Scrappy. We have what? No cameras.
I'm hitting the streets, borrowing quotes, down on my knees in a little rowboat in the middle of a river they call the Milky Way. I'm watching the lightning cover the town. I'm making up stories with who's ever around. And I'd walk all night just to hear what you have to say. Because, oh, darling, can't you see just how much you mean to me? A wild pony running just because she's free. It's everything you mean to me. And if I'm not what I ought to be, then what you get might be what you see. Oh, I'm your rock and roller. I'm the kid that's just too shy to talk to you. Yeah, I've slept on some floors, I've climbed up some walls, I've sang glad and sorry in Wichita Falls. But it ain't much of a story till you find someone to tell it to. I say, oh, darling, can't you see just how much you mean to me? A songbird whistling from the top of his tree. It's everything you mean to me. Now we don't keep the moments, so why count the days? Time's just a second-hand trick anyway. And I found that magician, he was sleeping out back in his car. So let's have music, laughter, another bottle of wine. Oh Lord, have mercy, you a friend of mine. You were born underneath that same strange, beautiful star. Oh darling, can't you see just how much you mean to me? I built a lock, you found the key. It's everything you mean to me. It's everything you mean to me. It's everything. Thanks so much, everybody.
Coming out on an early show on a Sunday at Campus JAX. Scrappy Judd Newcomb on guitar, folks. Thanks to Jacob on the sound. Tim on the lights. Karen Cleaves makes it all happen behind the scenes. Thank you, Christopher, for bringing us to town. Thank you, Campus JAX. Cheers. What a great crowd for a Sunday night, man. We'll do one more little walk around and say goodbye. Oh, thank you all so much, everybody. I got my Sharpies. I'll be signing stuff outside for a little bit. Thanks.